Okay guys, this is Mike. Welcome back to our Oklahoma Life, and I got a real quick video for you. Well, not quick, it's about 11 or 12 minutes, but I got a video for you about our electric. We finally got the electric company out, and they put up all the poles, the meter, and they left it cold so that we could install our disconnects. I have a video right after this that explains all that, but I just want to make sure that there's a couple disclaimers. If you're not comfortable doing electric work, don't do it. Hire an electrician, a licensed electrician. We're in Southeast Oklahoma. Our electric company is Kiamichi Electric. Let's see, Kiamichi Electric, and we're running our electric about 500 feet. That costs us about $8,000. Once we get a house finished, they will reimburse about $5,000 of that, $5,000 and some change. So it'll be, we'll be around $3,000. In this video, I have to install the disconnects after they put it in the pole and the meter box. Everything together cost us right at $800, 800 and some change, for 2 disconnect boxes, wire, some metal for poles, cement. Had to buy a couple of just small tools, Allen wrenches, stuff like that. So we're into this right now for about $800, and that's just putting disconnects on the pole. Now when we get the house and the shop put up, when the buildings are finally up, we'll have to run the power from those boxes underground to the house and the shop, and that's probably going to be at least a couple thousand more in wire. You have to run big wire. We use a 3/0 copper wire on the disconnect boxes, and I don't know if we're going to use copper or aluminum to the house. We are allowed to use aluminum. It's much cheaper, so I don't know. I've heard good and bad things about aluminum. We haven't decided that yet, but we'll have to run the electric from the boxes to the house underground, and like I said, I'm estimating that to be probably in the neighborhood of $2,500, give or take. And so the way we went about getting our electric hooked up, we found out who was the electric provider in our area. We talked to one of the neighbors, and they told us Kiamichi Electric. We went in there, we told them the address, everything. They had to send a surveyor out to survey the property and figure out which way the wire needed to run. We ran above ground. They gave us 300 feet for free above ground, and we had to pay the extra to the 500 something feet. Underground, they only give you 150 feet for free, and you have to pay the extra going to your house. And the underground was quite a bit more expensive. It would have cost us probably another $8,000 to $10,000 to go underground all the way to the house. And I didn't see where we really needed it. If you want underground for looks, that's fine. But if you want it, underground power is much more reliable in storms and stuff like that. But even if we ran it to our house up our property underground, all the power on the road is above ground, on poles. So it's probably not going to keep power from going out during storms, or a tree falls or whatever, because all the rest of the power for 30 miles around us is on poles. So it's not really going to matter. We kept it to the side of our property, so it's not, the looks aren't that bad, and we're not worried about it. When they sent us the paperwork, this is what they sent me that we had to do, either have an electrician do or we had to do. This piece of paper right here. This is like, it looks like one of those photocopies that they give you for schoolwork in school, that's been copied 4,000 times, but it does have the information on it. It's got the information on it. It says, the size the size conduit you need, the size wire you need. It has to be copper between the meter and our boxes, either metal or gray scheduled PVC pipe, lock nuts, bushings, and it gives a little diagram. Normally we're doing 2 breaker boxes, but normally most people do 1 if they only have a house with, you know, a house and a garage. We're doing 2 separate buildings, 2 200 amp services, 200 amps to the shop and 200 amps to the house. But normally you would have the meter box, and then your disconnect would be right below that, and you would only have 1 disconnect. We have 2 that are mounted to the sides, and you'll see that on the video. But it took them about 4 or 5 weeks to actually put the poles in, run the wire, and put the transformer up. Like I said, we just finished this on Friday. Today's Sunday, and I'll call them tomorrow, tell them we're done, and they will make it hot. Well, they'll go out and inspect it first, and they'll make it hot. It's not like a building inspection, but they look at it to make sure you did it right, so it's safe. I looked up codes, I watched videos. I have installed 2 disconnects before, quite a few years ago, but I have done it before, so I was quite confident I could do it. But like I said, if you're not confident, if you're not comfortable working on wiring, even if it's not hot, don't do it. Hire an electrician. We got a quote from an electrician, and we saved about $9,000 doing it ourselves, or we will save by the time we get the power all the way to the house, about $9,000 doing it ourselves. We only got 1 quote, and right then I knew that we were going to do it ourselves. So anyways, like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell if you want to get notified on our videos, and watch the videos and the pictures, and watch the video, and then we'll see you on the next video. Anyways, have a good day. Bye. Okay, so we're back out on the property. Not early in the morning, but I think it's about 10 o'clock. It's about 55 degrees, beautiful weather. It's supposed to get up to about, I think, 68, something like that today. And we're up here to put in our disconnect boxes for the electric. The power company is finally finished putting in the poles and everything. It's not hot yet, and this is what it looks like. We are digging holes to cement our brackets in to put the disconnect and breaker boxes. You can see they got the power lines in and everything. That's not hot yet. You can see all the grass seed I planted, or I threw out a couple weeks ago. It's all sprouting already, so maybe that'll help keep the grass or the dirt from washing away. Anyways, we're gonna get to this. Okay, got both boxes in. They're not cemented in and stuff yet, and obviously the wires aren't run, but we got the boxes in. Okay guys, welcome back to our Oklahoma life. We're back on the property today, finishing up the electrical. And disclaimer, this is how we're doing it, and this is how I understand the code to be and everything. If you think it's wrong, leave a comment, and I'll look it up and see if I can correct it. Again, another disclaimer: if you're not comfortable with doing this kind of work, hire a professional. This pole is not live. The power company came out and put up the pole, put up all the wires back to the main line, but it is not live from the main line to here. So that made me feel a lot more comfortable doing it since I wouldn't get killed. Anyways, they're going to come out and make it live, and they'll inspect this to make sure it's correct. And it's going to be different in everybody's area. It'll be different in your area, unless you're in Pushmataha County, Oklahoma. And I'll tell you exactly what they provided us. They provided us with the pole and this meter box. Everything else we had to supply. Everything past the meter we had to supply. So we supplied two square D main disconnects with breaker box. That way we can use some breakers out here for outdoor lights, for our well pump, maybe an RV hookup in the future, and we won't have to run the power out from the house. They were actually a little bit cheaper than just a disconnect switch without a breaker box in them. So we provided those. We provided all the wire from the meter to the panels. It's all 3/0 copper. Not cheap stuff. Last week we got almost everything installed, but we ran about 8 inches short of one of the hot legs, one of the hot wires going to the box. So we came back out today, finished it up. Also, I actually welded up those two black braces. It's a frame to mount the boxes to, and it turns out they weren't quite sturdy enough. So today we added the 2-inch poles and the unistrut across, and now it's nice and sturdy. So they were kind of wobbly. I mean, not sitting there, but if you grabbed them, you could shake them. So anyways, that's what they provided us. That is the boxes, all the support work and everything is what we had to provide. And after we get the houses up, the house and the shop, we will have to run the power from the bottom of these boxes. These have a pass-through through them. We'll have to come out the bottom of the boxes, into the ground, over to the house, and then over to the shop. So that's all on us, and it's not cheap. It's probably going to cost us a couple $1,000s in just in wire alone, not to mention conduit and everything else. But anyways, let me show you what I did over here. So, like I said, the electric company provided us with the pole and this box, and there's a big ground that goes in the ground here. So we had to come off of here, off the double lugs on the meter box, and we got 2 hots here, 2 hots here, and 2 neutrals here. So we got one of these hots coming over to the disconnect for the shop. Now they come up, they go into a hot here, a neutral here, and then when I get ready to run them to the shop, they have pass-through lugs here where you can take the 2 hots down to the shop and a neutral here that you can take over to the shop. And the exact same thing on the house side. Comes up, hot, neutral, pass through lugs. We can put breakers in here and come out the bottom. We are going to put some an outlet on the bottom of this box right here, one duplex 20 amp circuit, so when we need power outside and before we get the electrical hooked up in the shop, if we need power tools, compressor or whatever, we can plug into here with an extension cord. Grounding is a little tricky. From what I understand, looking at the code and looking at a lot of YouTube videos, all the grounding has to be done here. So because we use metal conduit, metal nipples here, we had to ground the neutral bus to the box, or to this grounding nut on the conduit, which also grounds out the box, and well, grounds out the box on the neutral too, and then come through here, another grounding nut, and supposedly it all has to be one continuous wire. So that was kind of a pain in the butt to thread through there, because it's a pretty beefy wire. Then ground it all the way back to this box, to this grounding bar, or to that neutral bar. Then these nuts are already grounded to this box. This box is grounded here, comes out the bottom, around the back, and it has a big grounding wire that goes down to the bottom of the pole. I saw the pole before they put it in. It's got a big copper thing on the bottom of the pole, and it also goes up and grounds out the transformer and everything. And what a grounding is, it doesn't make you any safer or anything unless there's a storm. Grounding is for lightning protection. It's for lightning to go through your wiring into the ground. So from what I understand, and so that's the grounding. Like I said, it wasn't difficult to wire up. Hopefully the electric company signs off on it, and we'll get power here in the next week or so. I have to call them probably later today and tell them that we're done with the disconnect installs. They, like I said, they came out, they installed the poles, the wires, everything. They left it cold so that I could install the disconnects, or my electrician, whoever can install the disconnects. And we got all those installed today. Everything's cemented in, the boxes are mounted, wiring's run, grounding's run, to the best of my knowledge. And like I said, if you're not confident with this, I've done this a couple times, and it passed before. So if you're not confident with this, hire a professional, an electrician, to do it. And it's going to be different in everybody's area. So that's all we got for today. Like I said, we're all done. All I got to do is put the covers on and close them up, call the electric company, and we'll be good. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you want. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.